Cake and Country 105.3 FM, Lee Ritchie keeping you company. And there's a very important event taking place 2 days this week at Dansville Dental Professionals. On Friday and Saturday, it's Operation Kidsafe. It's the #1 child safety event in North America. And joining me on the telephone is the founder, Mark Bott. Hey, Mark.
Hey, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
This is a very important event, and we'd like you to tell the folks a little bit about what's going to be happening this coming Friday and Saturday, why it's so important, what people need to do, and just give us everything we need to know. First off, what is Operation Kidsafe?
Well, Operation Kidsafe, this is our 11th year safeguarding children and informing parents with educational information all across North America. We've actually safeguarded over 1 million children free of charge. So what we do, we're going to be actually flying in some specialized equipment into the Dansville area. And as you said, we're going to be at Dansville Dental Professionals on Friday and Saturday. It's going to be free to the community. Also, the other important part of our program is it's going to be totally private for parents. So parents can get what's called a bio document. It's a set of digitized prints on their child, a photograph, and then an area to update that as time goes on with a color photograph. On the back side of that form are safety tips for kids anywhere from 3 on up to teenagers, so that they hopefully will never have to use that form and hand it to law enforcement.
Now, Mark, in this day and age of identity theft and so many things being hacked, I mean, parents may have a fear that somebody can go out there and, things are stored on the cloud, as they say these days.
Right.
What is different about this event?
Well, let me tell you this. I was moved to become a child advocate 15 years ago. I have 7 kids of my own and had an experience. And I became a child advocate. I worked with John Walsh for 4 years, traveling the country, working on the Amber Alert to get that passed. Just done a lot of volunteer efforts. And I will tell you this. One of the things that I found out working with the FBI, Secret Service, all regional law enforcement, is privacy is number one. I believe that the only one that should have your child's information is your doctor, your dentist, and your school. And that's it. If anybody else asks for your child's personal information, a red flag should pop up, and you should say, why would they need that information?
Right.
So we don't ask for as long as they're there with a trusted adult, we do the service free of charge. We hand the form to the adult. Our systems are all set up so when we press to go to the next child, there might be 7 or 8 people in line. It takes about 60 seconds to do this. When we press the button to go to the next one, the last record completely is sponged. I, in no way, shape, or form, would ever want to be responsible right now for 1 million records that we would have had to keep. And I am just a firm believer in privacy, and that the parent should be the only steward of this document. And the only time they would turn any of this over, the fingerprints, the photo, would be in a dire emergency. And then all bets would be off. You would want to hand this to law enforcement.
So the kids will come, the parents will bring the kids in. They will have the documentation done on them, but you will keep nothing. Everything goes back with the parents. So it's
exactly
100%.
In fact, we won't even, just so you know, there are some alpha fields that parents can fill in when they get home, with some personal information. We don't even take that on site. I don't take that chance. All we do is we take a photo, and if you, example, a family comes through and they have 4 kids, the only way you would ever know whose fingerprints are whose would be by the photo, because we don't even put a name on there. So, we'll never know their name. We don't care to. We want the parent to take this record home. So the parent walks out with a bio document. They've got digitized prints on each child. They've got a photo so they recognize whose prints belong to who, and then they can fill in those personal information fields when they get home and know that it's private, and they can do it in the privacy of their own home.
Cake and Country, we're talking to Mark Bott, the founder of Operation Kidsafe. They will be in Dansville on Friday and Saturday. Friday from noon to 6 and Saturday 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at Dansville Dental Professionals. That's the big building on 25 Red Jacket Street. A great place. Mom and Dad, we encourage you to bring the kids for this worthwhile event. Mark, what age group are we talking?
We usually recommend 1 year and older. We have gotten viable prints on younger than that, so you can bring them all. We'll sure try on the younger kids, but 1 year and older, you should get a great set of prints. We also do this for special needs adults. So if you have a special need adult, bring them in. If mom's in line and mom wants to have it done, it's free for the entire community. So anybody that wants this done can get it done. Takes about 60 seconds. We move the line very quickly. And again, it's going to be a fun weekend. for the families. We've invited out local police and fire, just all kinds of stuff going on. So you just need to get out there. And the thing is, there's no way to do this unless we are physically there, because we're actually flying in an operator and a machine, the same basic machine that the FBI and Secret Service use. So it's all digital. It's instantaneous. It gives you a lifetime record. You'll never have to get your kids' prints done again if you get a great set of prints like we can provide free of charge.
Now, obviously, it costs you money to come in, and I'm assuming this is being provided by the folks at Dansville Dental?
They take care of our airfare, hotel, that type of thing. So absolutely, yes, give them a huge shout-out for caring about the community to bring this in, and it is free of charge because of their efforts.
And you're not going to be handing out any wipies either. I mean, this is inkless digital
exactly.
print. Yeah.
That's good news, right?
Very good news.
That's great news.
When the documentation is done and handed back to the parents, how important is this for the parents to have, and how can it aid in, God forbid, any sort of crime or disappearance against the family in the future?
Well, I'll tell you, that's a great question. Number one, what most law enforcement folks tell us is that if they go out to an emergency situation with a missing child, first of all, the parents are in a complete pile. Mm-hmm. You can imagine that.
Oh, sure.
You're not prepared for this type of thing. So you have to have some preparation done in advance when you're not in an emergency status. So this gives you something you can handle law enforcement. We're going to teach you how to update it with a current color photo. You're going to have a lifetime set of digital prints. And here's the most important part. We're going to help you set up a family safety action plan with tips, ideas. I'll just give you one quick idea that you can tell a younger child. It's called Check First. It's one of the top tips by the FBI. And what it basically is, you take a younger child, and instead of putting the burden of child safety on them with having them remember 20 or 30 different scenarios that you know they'll never remember, you just tell them one thing. Here is the family rule. If anybody approaches you, whether you know them, think you know them, or don't know them, no matter who it is, if they ask you to go anywhere, do anything, or take anything, you run as fast as you can inside to the adult in charge and check first. So at school, you check with the teacher. At home, you check with mom and dad. If you can teach a 4 or 5-year-old that one thing, it is an absolute potential lifesaver because they're not out there making decisions.
And again, we want to remind folks that this is entirely free. All you need to do, mom and dad, is show up on Friday and Saturday. If you'd like more information on this, you can call Dansville Dental Professionals at 585-335-2201. It's Operation Kidsafe this Friday and Saturday. Friday, noon to 6, and Saturday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at 25 Red Jacket Street. We've been talking to Mark Bott, the founder of Operation Kidsafe. Well, Mark, thank you very much, and you're doing some great work out there, and we appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thank you to the station for having us on and caring about kids, and a huge thank you to Dansville Dental Professionals for bringing us in and doing this free for the community.
There you go. It's this Friday and Saturday, folks. Take advantage of it.